Hello everyone, Luke Smith here, and welcome to Saturday's video, the 17th of October 2020. It's just gone 9:30, and today we're gonna have a storytime video. Storytime video. This is something that happened about 15 years ago. I got the page up on Wikipedia because I wanted to make sure I got some of the things right on it. Now, if you're reading the title of this video, you probably know what it's going to be about. Buncefield oil refinery. I can't believe I haven't made a video about this yet. It happened 15 years ago, and I have not made a video about it. At least I don't think I did. Buncefield oil depot is basically situated 5 minutes away from me. Obviously it's an oil refinery. It keeps oil for like places like what was this? Yeah, the terminal is owned by Total UK Limited, and that's 60% owned by them and 40% by Teptico. So they're basically like converted into like diesel or petrol, that sort of thing. Now, on the 11th of December 2005, around about, I actually do remember the time when it went up. It's actually got the time there, but I actually remember it without even looking. About 6 o'clock, well, they marked it as like 6 AM and 1 minute. I was basically asleep. To be fair, I don't know what I was doing. I wasn't like working or anything. I was out of work at that time. So I was asleep. Everyone was. All of a sudden you hear this giant explosion. Like, we all like shot up. We bolted up. Well, to be fair, right, I was already up. Sometimes I wake up in... Please go. Sometimes I wake up at really strange times, and I always find trouble going to sleep again. Like sometimes I wake up like about 4 o'clock in the morning or something, and I can't get to bed for the next I can't get to sleep for the next 2 hours. It's so annoying. So I was up at about 10 minutes to 6, about 5:50 AM. I was tossing and turning. All of a sudden I looked up, because you know how you lay on the bed like that, and you're just looking up at the ceiling. And there's the window that side of me, and it was basically still dark, but the sky had like a light bluish tint, like the sun was coming up, and all I could see was a flash of light, like white blinding light. It wasn't that blinding because I was looking up. I wasn't looking directly at it, just caught it in the corner of my eye. I'm like, what was that? About 5 seconds later, giant explosion. We're like, what the fucking hell was that? So we all bolted up. I got my smoking jacket thing on, the vest coat on, because obviously I didn't have time to get dressed, so I just clapped something on quickly. Went outside into the into the yard behind the place, and we could see this giant mushroom cloud in the distance. We actually like walked uphill into the public footpath behind our place. We like got into like the furthest field. Don't worry, it's owned by us. We wouldn't trespass in strangers' fields, even though, to be fair, I don't think the strangers would care, because obviously they'd be doing the same thing, trying to find out what the hell has happened. All we could see is like this giant mushroom cloud, and you could like hear like small explosions going off in the distance. Well, turns out, after we made sure all our animals were safe and in good health still, turned on the news, and it was like main news headlines: Sky News, BBC, ITV News, Channel 4 News, all sorts. Even like some American outlets and some European outlets were talking about it. The oil, one of the main drums, like the main oil silos in Buncefield oil depot, too much pressure, and it exploded. That was the main explosion. And then 20 other smaller silos caught fire, and they were like little explosions going, but not one after the other. They was like exploding every like 10 minutes or so. We're like, shit. And that was right close to us as well. It was like almost behind our, like not really behind, just like up the road from us. They're saying that near Hunter's Oak, which is not that far. I can walk there easily. And smaller explosions and everything. And then obviously the smog came along. The sky had like a an orange tint with like a thick smog coming over, and that like smoke cloud that was in the air for quite a while, a few days. I think it's like up to a week it went. The explosion shook the ground, obviously, and the camera's not that big enough. There we are. Hopefully it still is recording. Shook the ground, caused some damage to the barn, and we got a crack up the side of the house. So it did not really damage it severely. It's like a hairline fracture, more or less. And the barn, really, and brickwork is, it's pushed some of the brickwork in, so we had to repair that. Yeah, that was massive. All over the news. People we knew were being interviewed by the medias and stuff, in the papers and all that. It's like, really? And that was in December. We was getting ready for Christmas. We was like selling Christmas trees outside the front gate, and I've got to say that year was one of our best years for selling Christmas trees, because everyone was buying them and quickly getting out of there just in case it happened again. So yeah, I mean, luckily it's been alright since. They did eventually put out the fire later that month, and obviously they had to assess the damage, get the insurance done, and obviously people who had damages to their property due to it, they all had to call their insurers, and some got in and some didn't, all that sort of thing. Now the good thing is about it is no one died, even though it says on the Wikipedia page it had 43 injuries and 2 serious injuries, which, to be fair, that could have been anything. People obviously doing like really early walks with their dogs, because you do get that around here. So it might have been them that's injured, or something like loss of hearing, especially if you're close to it. You definitely go deaf. Yeah, that was really horrible. We thought like a plane fell in one of our fields or something, killed one of our horses, but luckily it wasn't. It was something else. If you go up near, like, they did eventually open the road leading up to the depot, because they finally sorted it and they dealt with it. And by I think it was like a year and a half, they fully opened that area so people could like get back to work in it and everything. They assessed the situation, they cleared up all the damages, and they made sure it wouldn't happen again. Luckily 15 years later it hasn't, but yeah, I really don't want that sort of thing to happen again, but unfortunately it does happen in some rare circumstances. To be fair, I kept on thinking, oh god, this is going to be a Chernobyl version 2, isn't it? Don't worry, there was no mutations. The only injury that I saw was a pigeon that fell out of the sky and basically knocked itself out as it hit the ground, so we nursed it back to health. It couldn't fly, so we helped it as much as we could. We had to call the vet in as well, so he could assess the situation of it as well. Luckily that was the only thing that we saw of it. We don't know of the people that got injured or seriously injured, but hopefully they're okay, and now they probably got over it. I mean, the main injury is traumatic stress, to having to hear it and having to see it, because it's horrible when it happens right on your doorstep. So yeah, that has been this video. To be fair, I don't think any of my subscribers are from my area, so I don't think you'll be given your views on the subject in the description, unless you saw the videos of it, which if you go into YouTube and type in Buncefield oil depot explosion, you will see phone footage of the aftermath, and unfortunately I wasn't able to get any footage of it because my phone at the time wasn't that great. It was like a flip phone and it couldn't record stuff. Yeah, I think I'm going to leave it here. Had a little chat about it, 10-minute video. Tomorrow is going to be something else, even though I kind of forgot what I was going to do. So until then, see you guys.